Get to the main event, having Webb present their data and tour of the school. A couple action items we need to take care of before. First, I would like to make a recommendation that we hire Mr. Doug Kirby to be the Executive Director of Technology and Information for our school district. Huh? Yes. Doug's been with us for many years in many different roles. Most recently, he was the right-hand person to Mr. Sprout, also was overseeing TRAs, and he was our data guru. We did interview him last week with members of his team, a building principal, and myself, and feel like he'll be a great addition to our leadership team. So at this time, I'd like to make a recommendation to hire Mr. Kirby.
Any discussion? Happy to entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Lexus Road.
Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, what?
Although I am in this position, honestly, our department is not about me. It's about these guys. These guys are. Since I've taken this role on an interim basis, I have leaned on them pretty hard, and they've taught me a lot about different things, and it's really worked out well. I also want to reiterate to everybody about our department. We are, even though we don't really have quote unquote customers, we are customer support, and it's you guys and the principal staff and everybody else in the district that we are here to take care of. So we want to continue doing that. So thank you.
Thank you.
The next two items pertain to our newly created police department. One, Mr. Betts has been doing a lot of research to help us with standard operating procedures and policies. He interviewed Lexipol recently, to two different occasions. I know he's talked to the company, and we'd like to make a recommendation that we engage with them to help with standing operating procedures as well as policy development. It will then follow through the normal operations process where Mr. Yunt, Dr. Worley, and myself will look at the policies and move forward with that. But at this time, I would make a recommendation to engage Lexipol Master Service Agreement.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All right, and the last one is for us to create our brand for the Franklin Community Schools Police Department. Eli Cochran is the principal owner of Sharp Graphic, a former graduate of Franklin Community High School as well as Franklin College. He gave us various prototypes, and he has partnered with Johnson County Museum and other companies. We would like to have his expertise and professionalism to help create the brand and logo for us. So at this time, I would recommend that we engage Sharp Graphics. The contract is for $2,500 as we move forward.
Any discussion? Questions? Motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All right, well, thank you very much. And now I'm going to turn it to the Webb Elementary team, and you're going to walk us through what you want us to know about your great school. Do you have a mic?
I do.
All right.
All right. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Carolyn Ray, the principal of Webb Elementary. I did invite some of my literacy team here today. So I have Mrs. Sandra Haslam, who is my Title I instructor, and I have Mrs. Emily Flack, who is my literacy coach. And so together we have kind of compiled what we want to share with you as what we have kind of changed in our creative scheduling to accomplish they're still getting to class today, to accomplish getting some of our science and social studies standards in, getting tiered math in, and then 3 tiers of literacy instruction. So we've been very creative in our scheduling this year. And then we, at the end of Q1, really changed how we approached and tier 2 and tier 3 instruction. And we are really excited to share with you what 9 weeks of growth we've seen since we've changed that. So we're going to talk about our unified staffing. So this year, after quarter one, we started looking at our data and we decided that instead of having our SPED students with just SPED teachers and our title students with just title students and our red and our yellows and our green students all separated, that we were going to really just have an intervention team. So we were going to utilize all of our literacy team and all of our SPED team across the board. And instead of having them in their own pockets, we were going to just group all of our students by what they need, not by their label. Because we have special ed students who still within that group are here and here, but then they were being grouped together, so they weren't growing. And then we had title students who were high and low, but they were grouped together and they still weren't growing. So by merging us together, we were able to group them across the board based on their need, and we're seeing great growth on that, but we're still meeting the required minutes that they need for their tier 3 instruction. And then we bounced our tiers. So we have 3 tiers of ELA. 2 years ago, we went to a conference for professional development. And what we had realized is we were merging our tier 2 into our tier 1. And we were calling it 3 tiers of instruction, but we were leaving out that really intentional tier 2 of instruction on grade level with all of our students. And so when we were giving interventions, our special ed students and our title students were out of the classroom, so they were never receiving their on grade level interventions. So that gap was continuing to widen. So we've since fixed that and corrected that. So you're going to see in our schedule, we have 3 tiers of instruction now. So you're going to get tier 1 instruction, which is all grade level, tier 2, where our grade levels intermix based on their needs with their classroom teachers. And we pull in some of our special ed and our literacy team to really make those groups intentional. But then you have tier 3 where we're pulling up our lowest students, our struggling students, but we're mixing them up between our literacy and our SPED staff. So here's some wins. Since we've made our shift to really make intentional groups across the board, we've now moved, instead of groups of like 4 and 6 students getting interventions, to our groups are really just 2 and 3 students with a teacher or an instructor. So they're very intentional. So one thing we want to show, at mid-year, we had 7 students who missed their goal. So their score was 12. By early March, just with this intervention process, they've already moved to 37.9. Huge growth for us for kindergarten. Just a few students that we wanted to highlight that are in this intervention group. One had moved from 0 to 7, which means they have already met their end of the year goal, and it's March. We had one move from 0 to 13, so they have doubled that growth for the end of the year. One moved from 0 to 17. So we are seeing huge growth with this model. First grade is a huge push for these foundational skills because then we're moving into second grade, which is when we start with iRead. So we really need to have that foundational base solid in their sounds before they're getting into that decoding and that reading. So nonsense word fluency, which everyone hates the nonsense words because if you are a fluent reader, they don't make sense to you because they're not real. We had, at middle of the year, we only had 3 meeting their end of the year goal. By now, we have 2 that are within 1 word of reaching that goal. So we are seeing huge growth in first grade in decoding foundations. Beginning of the year for this student example, they only knew 13 letters, sounds. They were unable to blend even 3 sounds together. This child at the middle of the year, so this would have been January, could read 1 word of nonsense words. With this shift, beginning in January, he can now read 11 words and is independently decoding. So this is because he's moved from a group of 4 to 6, where even with a group of 4, you can kind of blend in and get out of answering sometimes. But when you're in a group of 2, you can't opt out. There's no hiding, there's no faking the blending. And so we're seeing real growth here. We can target that. Second grade success. This is where second grade and third grade are obviously our targets because we have iRead now. So second grade success has been where we really have targeted. We were the recipient of a Brannigan grant, so we have an extra body to help us in interventions with Sherry Smithy. So we have a retired teacher that comes in for about 3.5, 4 hours to work with our literacy team. And she's really been targeting our students who are below grade level, that red, or our bubble kids, our yellow kids that we're not sure that are going to pass. So one thing that we did is we've kind of mixed our special ed students with our literacy intervention students. And one thing we noticed is one of our SPED students was not growing with his group. So initially he struggled when he was only grouped with those students. His skills, though, were different. He was more of a comprehension student than a decoding student. And so his skills were just a little bit higher than the rest of his group. When we moved him into a literacy group, he actually has already met the end of the year benchmark 3 times in a row. So you can see the student A moved from reading 6 words to 26 words, and another student moved from 6 to 23. And again, this is just from January to March. So big growth. One success for us, we had 55.7% IREAD second grade pass rate. So that means 39 of our 70 students did pass in second grade already. We are planning on retesting 20 of those students. So last year, based on our data, we actually only retested 8 students. Their scores were not in that range that we felt it was worth retesting. This year, we probably have 6 kids that we know should have passed. It was a willingness to try and an effort more than a ability. So those ones will be retesting, but we have some new interventions in place that are going to really target these 20 students. We actually just rearranged their master schedule on Wednesday to really put interventions in place to utilize our staff again now in tier 2 and in tier 3, so that their tier 2 groups are going to be even smaller.
How do you motivate those 6?
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
So we actually did a motivation in 3rd grade. We tried it because what we're seeing these days is the kids, some of them just really don't care if they pass the test or not. I mean, they don't. And for us, some of us, like, that's a foreign concept because it's like, I would always want to pass a test, right? Especially if I thought I was going to be retained. I mean, that's a big thing. But for some kids, they just don't care. In 3rd grade, that was a big concern for them because this is the year that for those teachers. So we do incentive cards. In our mind, we know that we're going to give you that incentive whether you pass or not. It's not like a pass-fail. But it was a motivator for, like, you have to really show that you're trying hard each segment to get a punch. So we had like a reward party on Friday. They had to work really hard on segment 1 to get a punch for popcorn. They had to work really hard on segment 2 to get a punch for a drink. And then really hard on segment 3 to get a punch for candy. And it was kind of like hanging over their head. Now, we knew that we were going to let them go, but they didn't know that we were going to let them go. But it matters to them because they don't want to be left out of that party. Don't tell your kids that. But I mean, it's an incentive because we would never leave a kid out because of pass fail. We're not going to do that but what we want them to do is try their best. And so we just need to motivate them to do that. We also have parents write motivational cards, things like that. I mean, we do all the things that we can, but at the end of the day, I mean, they have to want to do that. But I did do a deal with 3rd grade that if they got to a 90% pass rate as a grade level, they could have like a game day with me. Like, I would play games with them. We would go outside and do that. You'll see their score in a second. And they tried to negotiate with me, but they didn't make it yet. So those things, it's those little things that kind of got 3rd grade going. We didn't do it with 2nd grade. And lesson learned, we're going to do it with 2nd grade for this free test. Yeah, because it made a difference. And you'll see that in a second with 3rd grade. Yeah. Yeah, good question. So 3rd grade. 3rd grade, we had an 8. When you add last year's testing with this year's testing, we have an 88% pass rate in 3rd grade. that means we have 43 out of 49 students. We have 6 students left to get over the bar in our 3rd grade. Of the 6 students who did not pass, 3 are within the range that we know we can get over the bar. We have one that's 24 points away, one that was 9 points away, and one that was 2 points away from passing. So we have made some major adjustments based on our format that I've talked about with our interventions. These 3 students that are very close to passing are now receiving Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 ELA interventions 1-to-1. One instructor to one student for those 3 tiers, because we can get them there. So their Tier 2 intervention is going to be with the curriculum that they have, but it's going to be very intentional in a small group to get them to do it. Their Tier 3 is going to be very intentional so that they can't opt out, they can't hide, they have those extra at-bats. We want to give them as much practice as we can because we know they can do it and we want them to be successful. These are also students that are not going to be able to get a good cause exemption. So we've got to get them there. The other 3 students were a little bit significantly below that pass rate. They are still going to receive all of those 3 tiers of intervention. They're still following our model. We're hoping that we can get them over the bar, but their skill level is the same. Their score level is the same, so they're going to be in a group that is the same. So,
How much time are we talking? So, can you walk the board members through how much time is the Tier 1 kid getting in literacy, and then you continue to crescendo to the group you just mentioned?
What do you mean?
How much time during their day?
Oh, like each tier? Yeah. So Tier 2 is 30 minutes. Tier 3 is 30 minutes. And then Tier 1 can be anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes.
But they're only receiving the one-on-one intervention for the word recognition part. So just for the Orton Gillingham part of the day.
Yes. Only the phonics piece.
And that's 30 minutes.
Yes. So you're looking at an hour and a half of one-to-one instruction.
So they're 90 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. So you can see their day is when you look at time, it really is shrinking down for those kids to get over that bar. And that's one of the things you're going to hear probably in strategic task force, I would imagine, is the time allocation as we look into our day. Because that's fixed. We know that's fixed in that space. Okay, thanks.
Yep. So you'll see one of our students working in those targeted group frameworks one-to-one with that instructor. This is one of those students' examples that we have talked about. When they were working in that large group of 4 to 6, we weren't seeing success. Now they're working in a group of 2. Well, they were working in a group of 2. Now they're going to be working in a group of 1. But they moved from oral reading, so how many words they can read in 1 minute. They moved from 7 to 37. In our iRead growth, a particular student that we are working on getting over the bar moved from 312. Their score last year was a 312. Their score this year, while they did not pass, was a 422. We're seeing growth in this model. We just haven't got there. But huge growth. This particular example of student B was just 24 points for passing. But when you look at their score from last year, huge, huge growth. Fourth grade, most of our students have passed. We have 6 fourth graders who have not passed iRead. We had 7. We got one of our 4th graders over the bar this past time. So we'll continue working on those 6. But we are still continuing to work on fluency and building up their ability to read and comprehend. Our average group gain of our students in that bottom 20%, we're averaging about 21 words per minute increase. And we're having special ed students growing from about 64 words to 120 words per minute using this model.
Apparently, if a 4th grader still doesn't pass,
So if they are granted a good cause exemption, they do. So the 6 of ours that have not passed have been granted good cause exemptions. However, they have to continue testing until they pass or they reach 7th grade.
Carolyn, you said they retest in the summer.
So they'll retest in May.
In May.
So 2nd grade can only retest one time. They can either retest in May or in June. We will opt to retest them in May. And then 3rd grade can retest in May and in June. So they'll retest in May after they've received our interventions. If they still don't pass in May, we'll offer them summer school, and then they'll retest at the end of summer school.
So you'll do summer school in between.
Yeah. And they'll test at summer school. Yep. So one other thing we want to talk about is how are we getting science and social studies in with the restrictions? We have so much ELA that we have to do. We have so much math that we have to do. How are we getting it all in? That was something that was a struggle for us to figure out. Wednesday is a different day, as you know, because you have early release. So we got a little creative last year in how we did this. And we noticed that our nonfiction scores in iLearn were a little bit of a struggle. So what we have implemented is Wednesday is a nonfiction day. Not that we only do nonfiction on Wednesdays, but we focus on nonfiction on Wednesdays. Wednesday is actually our students' favorite day if you ask them in the building, because Wednesday they read about science or social studies skills, and then they do hands-on activities. So they're doing mystery science. And you can see this is a 1st grade class doing shadow unit. So they're reading nonfiction, they're working through the experiment, and then they're doing writing through whatever the experiment was. But that is covering their ELA standards of nonfiction, but merging their science standards together. It's their most favorite time of day. It's also our heavy math day. So they're going to receive their Tier 2 math interventions during that day. So they're either getting extended or remediated across the grade level in Tier 2. So we already have Tier 2 in our schedule, but it's only on Wednesdays for math. That will change next year with the state changes. We're just missing that Tier 3 time right now. And then one thing we're proud of, we worked really hard in this building in the past 3 years on our behavior data. We are a CHAMP school, so when we walk at the building, you'll see our posters that show the Webb way and what we do in the hallway and how we act in the bathroom and how we act in the lunchroom. If you're ever here for a convocation, you'll know that we have a hand signal that gets everyone quiet, different things like that. It's a building-wide process. We all follow it. We have spider cards that students, is a building-wide initiative for PBIS. They get a spider stamp from any adult when they fill 10. Now some of our students are on 5.
Pardon the interruption. We need all boys basketball team members to meet Miss Wilde in the front hallway. Thank you.
So when you get 10, or if you are on an individualized 5, you get to go down to the office. We used to have a cool wheel, but it always broke, so now we have dice. You roll the dice, and you get a prize. And then you get a new card, and it continues. What we had noticed is we had students on behavior plans who always got these rewards, right? But then you had these kids who always do it right that weren't getting anything. And so we really wanted to ensure that it was fair access to everyone. And so it's been a really great process in our building. Students still get excited. We were afraid that after 2-3 years it would die out. It hasn't. They're still really excited about it. And so that's a process that they use, and that's building wide. So really we don't have a lot of different classroom management plans that you have to keep track of. Everybody's doing the same thing, which is really nice, unless they're on an individual behavior plan, but we still try to tie it to that. But through that, and something that we have called the buddy classroom, we use the buddy classroom if you have a student who cannot get it together in your room, or maybe is getting on the teacher's nerves, or maybe isn't jiving with somebody in the classroom. And it's OG time, Orton Gillingham time, and we need to get phonics done. But he's disrupting your phonics time. He's now going to have a buddy class pass, and he's going to go to another kindergarten room to get phonics time, where he was removed from the attention seeking of his classroom. But he's not going to go sit in the office and miss 30 minutes of instruction. He's going to go get instruction in a different classroom. It sounds like most of the time you're like, well, he's probably going to still do it. They don't. They actually don't do it in the other classroom because they don't have the same audience. It's a different teacher. and it's been working for us. So, but they're still getting instruction, because most of the time why they act out is because they don't want to be in there, and they want to sit in the office, but it doesn't work. Like, the opt-out isn't there. Now, the exception would be if you're flipping chairs and things like that. We're not going to go put you in another classroom. But for the most part, it's really been working, and kids aren't getting out of instruction. That was the key for us. And then we're really collaborative with teachers and families on our behavior plans. You always are going to have those 5-10 kids that just can't follow the regular behavior plan or regular mindset. And so our student support team, made up of my behavior interventionist, my counselor, and I, we work on behavior plans with the teachers. And then once we think they're ready, we meet with the parent in a meeting to go over it. They help us finalize it, and then it's put in place. That way we have family buy-in, and they know what's going on. And it doesn't have to be a part of an IEP or a 504. It's just a collaboration between the school and home. And that's worked out really well for us as well. But what I wanted to show you is we had a 68% reduction in calls from Q1 of last school year, 2024, to Q1 of this school year. That's huge for us. Now, granted, we have different students in the building and things like that, but it's showing that building those relationships and using consistent processes is working. We always are going to have a few kids here and there, but once we kind of get in that process, it's manageable, and our behavior interventionist is able to just swoop in and class can continue. So we're really excited about the growth we've had here. And it's kudos to our teachers and the relationships that they build with kids. Yeah. So just kind of to wrap it up, we've really worked hard on our intervention process and what we're doing, and creative scheduling and creative crossing of our special ed and our literacy team to really make sure that interventions are intentional and what kids need based on instead of their labels. And we're seeing growth. And these are just fun pictures. We did a One Book, One School this year with Humphrey, and the kids got to all read a novel, and then they got to take home a stuffed Humphrey every night. They rotated, and they got to write about what they did with their stuffed Humphrey, and it was a fun activity this year. So had to throw that one in there. So
Where's Humphrey going on spring break?
Humphrey's kind of stopped now because everybody's had a turn. Humphrey went on fall break though. He did.
Where'd Humphrey go?
Where did Humphrey go? He went on fall break with who did he go on fall break with?
I can't remember.
He went to the beach. Humphrey went to the beach on fall break. I just can't remember who took him. Because I don't think his mom was real excited that Humphrey went on fall break. Any questions?
Yeah, I love the relationship building piece. That's amazing. And then the community that you built with the Humphrey, the One Book.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
She isn't tooting her own horn on this too, but we do have Student of the Month that every classroom gets to, every classroom teacher gets to nominate a Student of the Month, and then they get to eat lunch with Mrs. Ray all together, and they get so excited about a slice of pizza and
Pardon the interruption. Could all girls basketball players please meet Miss Wildy in the front
And
hallway?
our PTO does a great job of sponsoring that. They also do yard signs. So if you're the Student of the Month, you get a yard sign that you put in your yard that says you're the Student of the Month, which is really cool. The kids get really excited about that. So yeah.
Years ago, when I was a Webb Spider, Mr. Fitzpatrick did like a Student of the Month where you could get to eat lunch with him.
Yeah.
It may have been connected to reading points, maybe, but I do remember having lunch with him.
Yeah. We do book taco here, and then they have to do every month. They have to read at least 4 books and take the quiz to earn a trip to Rascals at the end of the year. So that's one thing that we do here. That's been successful. And as we walk the building, you'll see spiders up on the wall. Right now, we have just started a reflex math program. Because one area that we notice in math is our students aren't learning their basic math facts, like multiplication, addition, subtraction facts. You know, we used to do flashcards and practice those in the time test. Kids just aren't doing that anymore. But it's down the road really affecting when they get to even middle school and high school classes because they don't know their facts. And you can't do a lot of math if you don't know your facts. So we adopted this program that is more gamified. We had used to do extra math and things like that. But the students love this reflex math program. We celebrate when they reach the milestone of 30%, 50, 75, or 100% mastery. They have a little spider flexing with a weights, and they get to move their spider on their wall, and then they get a prize each time they reach that. When they get to 100, they get what we call a reflex refresher. It's kind of like a Sonic drink that they get to make with like all sugar-free syrups and things. But it's a big deal for them, and we have had huge success and gains on math facts. I mean, I know your kids have already mastered all their facts.
Every time they come over, hey, I'm still 100% last night in our multiplication
Yep.
13.
Yes.
Great. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we have first graders. Yeah, so we have first graders passing multiplication and division. I mean, my own son is on multiplication in first grade, and my mind is blown by that. We have kindergartners that are almost through addition and subtraction facts. I mean, it's fascinating. And we're currently piloting a FRAX program that is working on fractions. And so we're hopeful that if we continue that track, that we'll see those results in our iLearn summative in a couple years, because if they know their facts, maybe they'll actually be able to tackle some word problems a little easier, because they'll actually know how to solve the basic math problems. So, but they're really excited about it, and it's the first time we've seen kids really excited about math. So that's exciting. Yeah.
I don't know, the book taco.
Book taco is a big thing too. Yeah.
Big thing.
Yes. So that's all we have. Well, we can do a tour of the building.
Yeah. Any questions from anyone about?
Just great job, right? I mean, the principal
Thank you.
building.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank
It was
you.
interesting. Brooke and I get to go see all the buildings all the time, right? And the different cultures exist. So I was talking to two of the teachers that transferred in this year to this school, and I said, "Hey, have you noticed a difference?" They're like, "Oh my goodness, yes." And that really is a strong vote for Principal Ray's leadership and what they're doing, and the whole team.
Mhm.
Picking everybody up and doing things. It's a hard lift, right? Third grade's a tough year. We've talked about that a lot. 3rd and 11th grade are the 2 years I'd circle on my, school kids' calendar and say, buckle up. You're going to have a lot.
Yeah.
But they've done a really, really good job in that space of creating a sense of that. An example of that would be Carolyn flipped her schedule more than Heinz has pickles.
But it works.
But it does work. and that's my point. If I would go to some other buildings and say, hey, I can tell you one in general, if I go to one building and say, hey, you're going to flip your schedule, they would flip out. They would not be able to function. Here, it's like, okay, let's just try it. It'll work out. Whatever happens, happens, and we'll figure out. So that plan, do, study, adjust model of systemic improvement actually exists here in not so many words, but how she does life. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. I mean, we sat down Wednesday with 2nd grade, and we were like, I think we need to switch your schedule for tier 2. And they're like, let's go. Let's do it.
Well, first I went to Carolyn on Tuesday and I was like, here's what I want to do. What do you think? And she was like, okay, let's do it. We'll talk to 2nd
Yeah.
grade.
If
And I
it's
was
what's
like,
best
I
for
know you don't
kids,
wanna
that's what we'll
change
do.
it again.
So, yeah. But our teachers are team players. Like, they're going to do what's best for kids. Yep.
Let's go visit
Please
the school.
pardon the interruption.
Is anybody doing OG right now?
Everyone's doing OG. Unfortunately, they're also taking team pictures right now. So that's what this is.
That's okay.
Yeah, so everyone in the building, yes, I think you should. Everyone in the building will be doing OG except 4th grade. 4th grade, because they have already finished iRead, is doing what we call morphology. So they're going to be doing a little bit different word work, but it's still word recognition and word work. So K through 3 right now is in OG. 2nd grade is going to be the difference. 2nd grade actually switches their entire grade level for OG based on their need. And that's really important right now because they're switching based on iRead needs to get who's over the bar. So you're going to see they're not in their homerooms right now. They have already switched. But everyone else is in their homeroom or they're in small group pullouts. So kind of what we talked about for that individualized tier 1 instruction.
All right, why don't we go next door and see?
Yeah.
Then Carol, I'm going to keep that on. We
Oh,
get
okay.
to still be live.
Okay, all right.
Yep, I'll put that up. Thanks. I thought Sandra was going to talk for me, but obviously not. Okay, all right. All
Yes.
right.
Oh, I'm on mic. Don't say it.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to leave your stuff in here, you can, and we'll come back here at the very end. If you want more coffee, more donuts, more water. Okay.
I know,
Yes.
right? That's what people were excited about.
My brother texted
We put a note that said not for March Madness.
watching like a teacher putting on the games, and I said, yeah, definitely. And he goes, Tasha, his wife goes, that never happened. I go, see, that's what's wrong with Minnesota.
We never get there.
Well, we don't either right now.
That's exactly right.
So you will see that we are utilizing all areas because we do not have a lot of room. Once preschool moves to the new building, we'll have 3 extra classrooms.
Meat? Is that meat like it's nice to meet you, or is it meat like I had some meat last night for dinner? Very
Oops, sorry. Come out this way.
Yes. Added to the end of a like word to change it. Not that one. That one's O-E. Read. Read. Road. And road. Yep. What's this one? E like in E. Like in Emma and.
He told me to come.
A
He
like
signaled me out.
Good.
No one else came. One of our small groups. This is our Brannigan grant teacher here, Sherry Smithy.
So say it again. Ooh, like
Hey,
in.
Carolyn. Carolyn,
And.
do you have any kids that can't be seen on video?
Like in.
I have a few.
Okay, make sure we don't go to those classrooms, okay?
Alright, that was a new
Unless
one
we were
this
already
week.
in one.
That one.
Like in.
Huh?
Like.
One was in there.
Oh, y'all know this. Like in. Yes. Like in.
We have like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the Brannigan grant right here. This is what this is the retired teacher that's helping those kids in that small group. One of the struggles with the Brannigan grant this year for her is they're supposed to have one more person. They've had a hard time finding the assistant. So Carolyn's going to look to modify that after break to do something different. Keep the same money, keep the same structure, but probably do something different to try to help accommodate the kids in that space. But The teacher has been easy to find. It's the assistant that's not been
Yeah,
easy
we've
to
seen
find.
really great results with Sherry, but it's just finding that assistant. It's hard to find any assistants,
Yeah.
but finding a 3-hour assistant with a branding grant is really difficult. So we'd like to use that same money to do a little bit more of a boot camp right before the test.
Is this Book Taco right
This
here?
is Book Taco. So she updates who has reached their Book Taco goal each month. Students get a prize if they reach the goal for that month. And then they're put into a drawing for a big gift basket for that month, one winner for the month. And it's like a family night basket, so games and things. So it's really cool. And then again, if they've reached the whole, every month for the whole year, then they can go to that field trip. So we're expecting about 60 to 70 kids can go on that trip this year. This is our one high ability split classroom. So this is a 3-4 high ability classroom. So you're going to see different things going on in this classroom than you would in the rest because they are working on 2 different curriculums. And they are also not doing OG. This would be the exception. This class does not do OG. Good morning. Good morning.
You might know this little guy.
I do.
Well, he's very quiet.
So this group is currently working on fluency passages and working to see how fast they can read and how many words they can read.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good. She got 147.
147.
How many did you
out
get?
Out of potential.
So last time she got 223.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's a big growth.
Is today
Nice
really your
job.
birthday? Well, happy birthday.
Third grade, are we ready to read?
All right.
Okay, third grade, check your boxes.
All right, we can go this way.
Okay, third grade, on your mark. This go.
Nice and quiet in here.
Yep. All right, we're going to head into a 3rd grade classroom. This is Mrs. Briggles. And they are still working on OG in this classroom.
This is, they divided up the classes into different rooms. Yeah.
Good. Number 2, I want you to write leads. Say it. Kingston leads our line. The word. Seal.
Mrs. Ray, what's the typical 4th grade class size right now?
4th grade or 3rd grade?
4th grade.
4th grade is sitting at 224.
Nice job. Number 3.
3rd grade is sitting a little bit smaller. 3rd grade is sitting at 18 and 20.
About my new puppy.
3, 6, 9.
They're split right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I know. I love my puppy. Dream.
It's our graffiti class. We're trying to promote all kinds of life skills.
We're very innovative.
Yeah.
So they're doing their final piece of their assessment today.
When you get it right on the desk, right?
Yeah, try to mix it up. Yeah.
He's hanging in there. I think it's been tough being split buildings. Carolyn and
very hard
Dylan
to
can
split.
tell you about that. The STEM program has been difficult because of that evolution of people in and out, the content and everything. So, but he's hanging in there.
We're going to head into fourth grade. Fourth grade is again different because they're going to do morphology. So that's going to be looking at how we're changing things instead of more phonics-based skills. What you working on? Buzz, good. Walk. Wick, make, stop, walk. Nope, don't look at how it's spelled. Look at how it sounds. I know. So it's not how it looks, it's how it sounds. So right here is what you'll see when we talked about reflex math. They're working on their math facts if they have finished early. So it looks like a game. It is gamified, but it is actually their math facts that they're working on. And they work until they get a green light.
Oh, is this?
And that means that they have mastered their books for that day.
How are you? Good.
So that's an early finisher job.
This one, we are going to start together. Then it's
I liked her band writing words. That's cute.
This is
I know,
all of
I
our
like
reorder that we talked about from,
All right.
you'll notice that it looks a lot like
So
our
do you know Everett? Yeah.
We will head downstairs so you can see a little bit of kindergarten and first grade before they wrap up their OG block.
I thought he was leaving soon because he said that.
Kind of waiting, I think.
Is that what it is?
Well, last I talked to Greg, he was telling me the same junior folks too.
Okay.
They were, so the housing market's a little tougher up there.
Okay.
So he was kind of, at this point, I think they're kind of, up northwest of Milwaukee.
We'll pop into this one.
Last time it was just drinking a hug.
Oh.
Not from after Benjamin, though.
As long as you don't get a kiss.
So, all they wanted to talk about yesterday was how Matthew goes, so what happens when he goes, well, Benjamin, Kellen, and I beat a third grader in basketball.
Yes, I kept hearing that
oh,
too.
Great.
I heard that all the way here this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to head into a first grade classroom. We have 3 first grade sections. One of our first grade sections is a high ability split, so it's going to be half high ability students and half gen ed students. So you'll see a few different things when you come in here. They are still in their OG block. So they're going to be coming to the end of that, so they'll be moving into like a passage and some fluency reading.
Yeah, it said, right? It said, drip, drip, drip. It started to rain, so that gave us a clue, right, that it was going to start raining, and he was afraid he wasn't going to be able to start going to the game. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. So was he able to go to the game? Yes, he was. Good. All right. If you are a peanut butter friend, you may go put your paper on your desk. And if you're a jelly friend, you may go put the paper on your desk.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
Oh, you're a good man. Yes. Hey, Mr. Jones wants to see you. Yes.
Another one? Congratulations. One of mine. Yeah, I figured. Basketball team's enjoying spring break right now.
Well, you noticed the first team.
I noticed that. That's why I was like, maybe on the. Give me a word for the dude. Oh, I'll be like, well, I got that wrong.
Kellen's trying to wait for me. He's such a sweet kid.
Yeah.
Great. What's this word say? Good. Good. Good job. Remember that word walk.
All right, we will wrap up here with kindergarten.
Why don't you talk also as we walk?
Yeah.
Tell what you're doing with your developmental counseling and how it's different than the other schools.
Yeah, so this year, the past few years, we've done counseling lessons a little bit different. So in order to maximize our PLC times on instruction and not kind of use PLC times to talk about field trips and other things, we're a little creative in our scheduling as well. And so I talked to Angie, and we combined our counseling lessons by grade level. And so we would have 2 counseling lessons a month for each grade level. And then we would put either myself or my behavior interventionist with her to help crowd control, because that's a lot of kids in a room. She would do a lesson for the grade level. One of us would help supervise. And those 3 teachers would then have an additional 20 to 30 minutes. And what we would have them do is that's when we would talk about student behaviors, field trips, things like that, instead of using the Wednesday time that we really want them to be talking about data. So we've done that the past 2 years. We've seen some good parts of that, and we've seen some downsides to that. She can't be as hands-on in her lessons and interactive when she does that. However, it has freed up her schedule to be more one-to-one with students' needs and things like that. So we've kind of looked at the ups and the downs on that. We're probably going to go back to individual lessons moving forward, but it was helpful for the past few years. When we have more space and with preschool leaving, we're probably going to give her, we're going to make like an LGI room where she can have lessons and push out, and then maybe the teacher can have their room to themselves to kind of work, because it used to be pushed into the classroom. So we'd like her to have a space where she can do lessons but still have her office for like that counseling piece. So that's something we're looking at for next year.
Can we see this?
Yeah. Yeah. I can show you our sensory room as well.
Another unique thing, you talk about specials.
Yeah, so our specials, we do split with Union. So our are here from the morning until about 11:50. Then they have a transition time and lunchtime, and then they go to Union and they teach about 2 classes there. So we provide their prep on our schedule here, and then they go there. So it does restrict our schedule a little bit. We have to make sure that we can get all our specials in before noon. But we split there. So that's art, music, and PE. My library stays here. This is our den. So this is kind of our sensory space. We use it for regulation, and our occupational therapy is housed here as well. So we're trying some new things. We have a new occupational therapist starting this semester, so we are working on collaborating with her through this and really making sure that sensory breaks are intentional and they're what the students need instead of fun and playful or free time. So you'll see we have a binder here. She has made certain plans for what those students need and what actually will work for them on their needs. Then the students have charts that they know what they need to come and do. If it's part of their special ed minutes, we log it actually in a log so that they know they've been here, and it tracks those minutes to ensure that they've received those services. My behavior interventionist is right here, Mr. Summers. He's kind of a jack of all trades here. He helps us with obviously our behavior intervention calls. If you ever read my newsletters that come out, he always is that bottom piece of behavior tips and tricks. And he also is a great asset to our safety team. So, yeah. Any questions for Mr. Summers? We are very blessed. This is a great space for us. Yeah.
You guys can relax.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we'll go to Emily's room here for kindergarten. Yep. Yeah. The one who can't have more coffee. If you're not familiar with Webb, we do have a drama club. Last night was their performance. They did The Wizard of Oz. Is a phenomenal experience that we provide kids. It's usually for our 3rd and 4th grade students. Jamie Abel, who's our 2nd grade teacher, she usually does our 1-2 split when we have it, is our sponsor for that. She starts practices in the fall. They put on a wonderful presentation. It's about an hour-long play, but the work that goes behind that, I can't even explain to you. They were singing. Kids memorize the lines. It is a phenomenal thing. If you've never been to one of the presentation or shows, I highly recommend that you come to one of them because they are amazing. Does it always follow the high school drama club schedule, or is it just by accident? The past 2 years we have. Okay. I don't know if that's an accident or on purpose. Yeah, but it's been really cool that it's been the same. But the past 2 years we have. But ours was before it this year. Last year ours was after. Right. So yeah, it's been really cool though. So, and it's a great experience for the kids. So this is our math walls. You'll have seen a couple of them here and that we had talked about. They're flexing their math skills. You'll see a lot of this is our 3rd and 4th grade wall, so you'll see a lot of our students are in that 75 to 100% range here. But they get really excited when they get to move their spider. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to take you into a kindergarten classroom here.
I'm not writing it. He has a big. You can stretch out the word big. Big. So he has a
So they are at the end of their OG lesson on their SRS page, so they're writing their sentence.
big. What was my last word? Someone with their hand up. He has a big. Rosalind. Grin. You say it. Grin. What is grin? What did we talk about that? Rowan, what is grin? What do I mean? A smile, right? He has a big grin. If you listen to the word grin, grr is our new skill.
Okay. You got it. That's it. All right, we can head down to preschool as well. So one thing that we're excited about is we have continued to grow. I think when I started, we were at 275. We hit 315 this year. We're down a little bit from the start, but we are continuing to grow. So right now we have 3 sections of K1 and 2, and 2 sections of 3 and 4. So we are continuing to kind of grow up. As we exit. So our smallest grade level is 3rd grade at about 58, but we are definitely growing, so that's exciting. 3rd grade, or 2nd grade will move downstairs. They were moved upstairs because of the 3rd section. We wanted to keep them all together. They will move back downstairs when preschool moves out to the new building next year. Our downstairs classrooms all have restrooms in them. It's more ideal to have 2nd graders downstairs and not mixing with restrooms with 3rd and 4th graders, things like that, just some dynamics like that. So K1, 2 will all be downstairs starting next year, and just 3, 4 will be upstairs.
Quick trivia, what is the largest student population this building's ever seen?
No.
We had 600.
It used to be, I was like, it used to be K5.
Yep,
yeah.
We had 600 back in 2007-8, we actually had one of the modular buildings right out in front. The kids had art and music out there, and they were in here, and every room was filled with kids.
Still trying to put out off of us.
No, they moved one off on Morgan Lane
Okay.
back to the interstate, but then yes, the college one is still pending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street
From mine.
out my back door.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have a road that would connect to off of our cul-de-sac, I think.
We are.
Good morning. Yes. Yeah. I know. I know that is.
One of
Who are you?
the actual developer is one of my bosses.
We are.
Okay.
This is the school board. So they're like the boss of all bosses. And then I am Mrs. Ray's boss. How's she doing? Miss Principal, pretty good?
What do you think, Daddy? Does she do a good job?
Pretty good?
That's my
How
daughter.
about Mrs. Smith? You guys know Mrs. Smith?
Mrs. Smith, she came and saw us the other
Did she
day.
come see you guys? Yeah?
You're so quiet.
You're like, so much is happening.
I know.
We are.
Yeah, Mrs.
Huh?
Ray owns the school. Somebody said that the other day. One of our preschool. She owns it.
Outstanding.
I said that.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Is this their class size?
So it changes each day because you can come 3 days or 5 days.
Okay.
And then you can come half days or full days.
Do you have to, are there certain days that you can, if you do the 3, that you have to do the 3?
You can pick your days. So like my daughter comes 3 days, but I can pick the days.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think a lot of
Every
people don't
week?
pick Friday. I think you try to stay the same. So I think a lot of people don't pick Friday. But I just did. I thought you just had to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So is last year who you were pregnant with when Atticus was here?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, 2019, 2020. Yep, that's that one. And then, and then my last one will start at the new preschool. Yeah.
Well, maybe she was baby then.
No, that would have been my first grader. Yep, that would have been my first grader. Yep. Because I started teaching here right after I had my first grader.
Okay.
So it would be this one. Yep. Hi, Sissy. Have a good day. If you ever need to brighten your day, come. You just if you ever need a good day, you just pop in here. Yeah, you just pop in here in your day. We will miss them for that. They will always brighten your spirit. That's K1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, well, thank you very much for hosting today's
absolutely.
Work session school board meeting. Are there any other questions before we end today? All right.
No. Thank you for the new carpet. We really appreciate it. It makes our building look very different and wonderful. So, yeah.
Just a quick reminder, at 9:30, we will be back at central office, and we are also going to have Mrs. Nelson Zoom in, so she'll be available to do that for our executive session. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.